It's week 3 of the new Premier League season, and this is the prediction show. Just a quick reminder, last week I got 6 out of 10 correct on the prediction show. The first week I can't remember, but I'll endeavour to try and recall that in future shows. I want to make a point first about the disturbing developments that are increasing on football terraces regarding racially abusing black players on the field. We had some dreadful situations last weekend when Tammy Abraham took a penalty and missed. He was subject to abuse, and this goes hand in hand with other incidents that have happened this season. I do think it's a poison that really reflects society in the UK, and this has been ratcheted up by the right-wing party run by Farage and his message to the electorate with regard to immigration, and this coupled with what appears to be a lack of education in the state school system to try and counteract this being spread from generation to generation. There's only one way to eradicate this, and you have to do it at the school level so that young people grow up with a belief that all people of all creeds and colours and sexual orientations are equal. However, it appears that the attitudes of the past are now being stoked up by this sort of nationalistic fervour regarding let's leave Europe, Brexit, and of course is Farage's right-wing thugs. So anyway, I know this isn't a political show, but it really is getting too much. Now on to the fixtures. It all gets started on Friday evening at Villa Park with Everton, the visitors. Villa have been a bit unfortunate to start off with 2 defeats. Everton, of course, have got after a good start with a draw and a win. I'm going for a 1-1 draw here. I think eventually Villa may have tightened up their defence and they'll match the Toffees. On to Saturday's fixtures now then, and we start with the early kick-off at Carrow Road. Norwich buoyant after that win against Newcastle last week, and Pookie no doubt hoping he can add a few more notches to his glorious goal-scoring bout. However, Chelsea much improved after their first defeat at Old Trafford, and I'm taking this to be a 2-2 draw. To the South Coast then, South Coast derby, Brighton at home to Southampton. Brighton with 4 points already. I think they're going to be a bit too good for for Southampton, and I'm taking the Seagulls to win by 2-1. To Old Trafford then. United very disappointed that they couldn't get the win at Wolves. The missed penalty is still very vivid. However, they're at home to Crystal Palace, who've looked pretty poor so far, and I'm expecting Man United to be far too good for Crystal Palace and to win this game by 3-1. Now to Bramall Lane. Sheffield United got off to a winning start last week, beating Palace at home by a single goal. They've got Leicester this week, and I think it's going to be a much more difficult proposition. Leicester were a little unlucky to come away from Stamford Bridge with just a draw. I think they're going to come away from Bramall Lane with a win, and I'm taking them to take this game by 2-1. Okay, so here we go. Last match on Saturday, Sorry. Watford versus West Ham, 3 o'clock kickoff. Watford, dire start. West Ham, not so impressive either. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Mistakes, though. And the final match on Saturday is at Anfield. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. These two are the only two sides with a 100% record. 2 wins, 2 matches played. I'm expecting the, Liverpool to be a little bit strong for the Gunners. Sepp Bellas, well, he'll need to really pull out the stops, I think. I'm taking Liverpool to win this game by 3-1. Now let's get on to Sunday's fixtures. There are 3 of them. Vitality Stadium, Bournemouth at home to Man City. Bournemouth have got a dreadful record against Man City, and City are going to take this one comfortably by 3-1. To the new White Hart Lane, and Spurs at home to Newcastle. Newcastle 2 defeats already, and I think by the time full time arrives they'll have made that 3. I'm expecting Spurs to edge it by 2-1. And the last fixture is at Molineux. Wolves at home to Burnley. Burnley 1 win, 1 loss. Wolves 2 draws. I'm expecting Wolves to get off the mark with a win here by edging this by 2-1. Just one final thought before I go. I noted in the sports section of football that Man United are trying to offload Alexis Sanchez to Inter to join Lukaku, and I read that Sanchez's wages are an enormous £390,000 a week, and this is the stumbling block. This guy, he ought to be ashamed of himself. If he wants to go, which I believe he does, then he should cut that salary immediately and get out of Old Trafford. We don't need these parasites. Okay, the results show will be with you on Monday.